I grew up on the west side of Fresno, on Collins Street, right between Kearney and Fresno Street. And then at the 4th grade, we moved over to by the old St. Agnes Hospital. My parents are Charles and Ann Matoian. I grew up in a really close family. My older sister Janice, who now lives in Modesto, and my brother John. My brother and I lived in the same room, closed-in patio growing up. And to this day, we are still as close as we were when we were younger.
Matty's connection, I go back 40 plus years. I used to wash trucks for Matty and his dad at OK Produce. So I started a connection with them a long time ago as a young man. And I learned a lot of things from Charlie and Matty. And Matty's just been such an amazing mentor in my life and role model for me.
OK Produce is a wholesale produce company, which means we bring it in bulk forms of like straight loads of lettuce. Then we redistribute it to the stores.
He was helping to build the business with his father, my grandfather. And then when our grandfather got sick in 1979, I believe, then it was a full commitment for my dad. He was basically doing it by himself. He went from being a buyer to running the company and being a buyer. And to say he worked 80-hour weeks is not an exaggeration. People say all the time, I work 80 hours. He worked 80-hour weeks. He worked Monday through Sunday, and Sunday was his easy day where he came home by 3 o'clock.
I think what keeps you going is, here's something that your father had built up and you didn't want to see it go down because he was ill, and you wanted to prove, because the competitors said when we moved in the new building in '86 that we wouldn't be able to make it for 6 months. And we're still there, and they're not in business anymore.
He wanted to do it the best he could possibly do it. He wanted to take care of his people so well. He cared so much. So every day we saw this. Every day we'd see it. And this is the day before there were cell phones, and he was on the phone, and there's faxes coming to hotel rooms. But he was always working intensely hard under a really stressful environment.
In my friendship with Matty, I realized when we first got together as friends, his amount of effort that he put into work was way more than the average man puts in. He would work long hours, early mornings, weekends, constantly making his business grow.
He is a great friend. He is loyal. I mean, I remember when I was sworn in as county superintendent, he would cut articles out of the paper and then put them in a card and then mail them to me.
I could probably pick up the phone at any time and tell him I have a need, and I could count him on 100%.
He has an innate ability to know how to do the right thing. And I don't mean the right business decision that's gonna, he just knows right and wrong very clearly. Do what you say you're gonna do. He was incredibly impeccable about that concept. And he was firm about being fair and taking care of our customers.
He was a really good buyer, very aggressive, always shaking and baking, making moves, always trying to buy double, triple the volume, always trying to get the price break so he could sell it cheaper, so our customers could go hotter, so we could move more volume. He always said volume takes care of all ills. You need the volume. And so he always taught me to stretch and buy big. If you think it's 5 pallets, buy 10. You'll find a home for the extra 5.
My dad is constantly giving things to people. He gives my kids more gifts than I give them. He gives my wife, I think, better gifts than I give her. He's thinking about people and what he can give them all the time.
It's important for me to give back to the community because of what the community has given to our family. It's rewarding. The reason I gave to the community hospital is my father, when he was in the hospital, the nurses there were unbelievable. The reason I did Fresno State is Fresno State was the best 4 years of my educational life. It gave me confidence that I never had, and it gave me a boost in friendships that I still cherish today.
It takes a lot, I think, to work that hard and to make the sacrifices that he did all those years, and then to give a lot of it back to the community. And to hear him talk the day that he found out he won the award, about how my grandfather told him, this is where we live. You need to give back where you live. And I remember hearing my grandpa say things like that. And I was a kid, so it didn't really register when my grandpa was saying that, but it made a lot of sense to me. This is our home. Fresno's our home. And Fresno's been very good to us as far as business. I'm really proud that he's given so much back to the community in all different areas.
It doesn't have to be big checks to big hospitals because that makes a lot of people smile. It could be a box of apples, it could be a card, it could be, you name it. He will find a way because he cares about people. He finds out what's important to them, and he takes care of them. And I think it does make him feel good because he's doing something. But I think he truly loves watching people be happy, in big ways and small.
I admire Matty for his giving to everybody, and in respect that when he gives, he expects nothing in return. It's just something he does for people, and he likes it.
He's a great grandpa. He will drive all the way out to our house, which is about a 20-minute car ride, just to see my kids, just to see them for 10, 15 minutes.
Family's the most important. My mom's last words to me before she died were, stay close to your brother and sister. And we are closer today than we've ever been. And for me, it's very important that the boys and I and our families are close together, so that's why we do these vacations now.
Matty has received a lot of awards in the community for his performances and his community activities. And he really feels that this Leon Peters Award is one of the most prestigious awards that he could possibly receive. And as a friend, I really feel very, very gratifying that he is receiving this award.
Boy, they got this one right. I mean, that's all I can tell you. I've watched him for the last 40 years and nothing's changed about him. That award is about, you know, an exemplary business, but it's also about giving back. I don't know anyone else that I've met in my lifetime that has that kind of commitment to this community, and Matty Matoian has it.
And I think most of the recipients would probably say the same thing, is that they've probably been honored many different ways in the city, but this time, this one's different, and this one's a different level, and a different feeling, and a different group, and he's clearly showing that in how he's acting and how he's feeling about that, and that's fun for me to see him happy about something that he deserves so much.
I think it's well deserved. I think it's always nice to hear from people that you're appreciated and that the good work you've done is appreciated. And you know, to be held in high regards as Mr. Peters and the other recipients, I think it's very special. I'm happy for him and our family.
Mr. Peters was unbelievable. My dad revered him. He used to talk about him all the time. The Leon Peters Award is truly overwhelming for me. The response, the emails, the text messages, the phone calls has really made it really special. And the only wish I have is my father and mother were here to see it.